about what you've become, what you've become. So I was thinking about it on my way here kanina. Sabi ko, I've been in the business for quite some time now. For, half my life or even half my life, even before I broke out in the business. But I want to say that I just never stopped learning. I just never stopped living my life. Every year for me is a discovery. Every day for me is an opportunity to be a better person. So, siguro in general, I would want to assess it in this way. Professionally, when I was doing my first 10 years in the business, it was all about knowing yourself, knowing your identity, knowing what you can do, what you can offer, if you can sing, if you can act, if you can dance. It's all about really establishing yourself in the industry. And then towards the next 10 years, it was all about finding your niche and becoming a brand and just really establishing yourself as an artist. So those 10 years defined me and worked kumbaga, prepared me for the next 10 years of my life, which is starting this year. So I'm entering a new phase, for my third decade in the industry, after 20 years. Parang for me, it's all about now. I want to say, because from what I've been reading, every so often that I get a chance to read articles or anything that has to do with me, I've always been perceived as shy and reserved and really safe. So now, career-wise, image-wise, I want to be able to explore more the things I've not done before, kind of stepping out of my comfort zone and think something out of the box so that I'd be able to know more what I can offer my audience. Because parang, I thought I've already hit my glass ceiling as an artist, but I realized, I'm just turning 40, and as they always say, life begins at 40, and I kind of feel that. Nararamdaman ko now that I'm turning 40, there's still a lot of things that I can discover as compared to how I looked at my life 3 years ago. I felt that I've done so many things, and now looking ahead, I realized ang dami ko pa palang pwedeng gawin. Ang dami ko pa palang pwedeng ma-discover, and part of that is being able to do something I've not done before, explore more, not be too safe, not care about what people think or perceive me to be. So it's more really maturing and growing in this business, and taking it forward, giving back to the business that has embraced me these last 2 decades.
So, segue tayo dun sa you wanted to explore more. Meron bang in specific?
Well, I've gotten into
Sa
production.
bucket list mo?
I've gotten into production, movie producing specifically. So I make time for meetings with my production Spring Films with Direct Joyce, Bernal, Erickson, Raimundo. So I want to be able to do films that have significance, be it socially or what have you. But I want to be able to do more roles. I want to